Hello guys, now we'll be discussing about question 15 of logarithm, and as you can see here, the question told us to express a2m minus 3n in terms of x and y. And when dealing this kind of question, the thing that we want to do is change the question that they give us into another form, and in this case we change it to indices form, which is x equals to a m here, and here we need to change it to y 1 over 3 equals to a n, and this 1 over 3, if move it to a side, he will become 3. So is a3n. And now the question here asks us to express it into x and y. So the question is actually a2m equals to 3n. And a2m minus 3n is actually a2m over a3n. And this a2m can be factorized, so we move it out towards the bracket and put it the 2 at the outside. And a3n, we write it like that. And now we can clearly see our answer, as earlier we declared that x is actually equal to am by changing the form of log to indices form, and y is actually equals to a power 3n. So now we already have our answer, so we could write it, our final answer, as x squared over y. And so the final answer is x squared over y. And logarithm is just as simple as that. And now we'll be starting off with question 17. Question 17 here said that price of a new motorcycle will drop as soon as the moment it was bought. After n years, the value of new motorcycle is 700 bracket 8 over 9 power n. And we need to calculate number of years take for the value to be less than 1000 for the first time. So to start off, we need to set up an equation, which is using what the question gave us and say less than 1000. And here we need to simplify the equation by dividing 1000 over 4700. Given here 4000 10 over 47. And now we need to take note that usually dealing with this kind of situation, we need to add log in order to evaluate this, as if we continue to dividing 8 over 9 for 10 over 47, we can't get an answer. So here we need to put log to evaluate the answer. So we'll be continuing by adding log on both sides. And log on the other side. You can evaluating by pressing your calculator, and you will get negative 0.0512n lower than negative 0.6721. And there's another part that we need to take note, is this sign, greater and lesser than sign. Usually when we met this kind of sign along with negative sign of a number, we need to be extra careful, as when we have negative sign of number, we need to change this sign as well, so that we could count and get the correct answer. and now we'll be changing, so we change the lesser than to a greater than, so that both of this equation will be positive, and now we'll be dividing 0.6721 to 0.0512, and what we'll get is n greater than 13.13, which is n over 14, and this is the final answer. Now we'll be starting off with question 18. The question here tells us to solve the simultaneous equation. So simultaneous equation usually involving more than two equations and more than two unknown. And to solve this, we have steps. First is to simplify what they give you, and later we need to compare this value. So after that, we need to sub the value that we find to another unknown, so that we could find the complete value. So to start off, here we just copy what they gave us, and so in this, so for 16, 64 and 2 are actually all bases of 2, so we just change it all to bases of 2. And later then, here if divide, we could actually write it into the subtract form, as this is one of the rules. And so when we have the same bases, we could actually cancel out, and what we left with is 2x minus 4 equals to 6 minus y, which will then further arrange it into this form. And another one is log x y plus 2 minus log x 4 equals to 1. So here we could factorize log x out, and what we left with is y plus 2 divided by 4, which is equals to 1, and this log x could move to behind there and become the power of x. So I'm gonna write like this, and after that this will 4 will be multiplied with x, and then what we have here is 4x minus y equals to 2. So later then, this is our first equation, and this here is our second equation. And so 2x plus y equals to 10, and we need to arrange it the same way. So x is x, y is with y, and integer is with integer. So here we have y is the same thing. So usually different sign is addition for other numbers, and the same sign is subtraction for others numbers. So here what we left here is 4x plus 2x equals to 10 plus 2, and 6x equals to 12, and x equals to 2. And what we can use here is use the value of x to sub it into any equation that you like. It could either be here or here. So what I'm going to do here is actually just use 4. I will sub it into this equation above. So 4 equals 2 minus y equals to 2, and y is 6. So the final answer is x equals to 2, y equals to 6, and this is the final answer. So lastly I want to further say that when solving this kind of simultaneous, we need to always follow these 3 steps. And now is question 19. 19 said that we need to show this equation here is divisible by 7 for all positive integers of n. So what does it mean by that? Which means that by the end of it, the answer that you will get is actually something multiple of x. So this 7 is actually important just to indicate that it was divisible by 7. So we need to express it into a form that it is divisible by 7. So starting off is we write out the whole equation first, as always. And after that, and here we have 3n plus 1, which could write it in this way, as it was the same form, and same goes for plus 2, which is actually 3 powers 2 equals to 9. And here we could factorize out 3n, and 3n will be taken out, and what we left is 1 minus 3 plus 9. And so after that, the answer that we will be getting is 7. And here we will be doing or get something that is divisible by 7. So this is divisible by 7. So this means that we actually managed to show it. We have already shown that it is divisible by 7. And after that, we actually need to write a conclusion. So the conclusion is, since the expression of 3n plus 1 plus 3n plus 2 equals to 7 power of 3n is a multiple of 7. It is divisible by all positive integer of n. So as always, when usually during this kind of question, we need to write a conclusion about it. As usually, it will have marks given for the conclusion. It will have marks given. So remember.